don't know. Aha. Okay. Hello, everybody. I have returned. I don't have my light anymore to shine at me. It broke, but whatever. And I got a headache from hell right now. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm doing this with my headache. Ah! Anyway, I hope everybody's doing good. Everybody has been doing good. I sewed a bag for my hi Zagros. Sewed a bag for my deck. So I got a homemade tarot deck bag. I'm excited. And I actually have a new deck on the way that I ordered because it was very cheap. I was like, I'm just gonna get it, and it looks stellar. It looks exactly like what I want. So I got it. So that should be here Thursday. But yeah, how you doing, Zagros? Glad that you're here. That's cool. Let me see if I can. What was I gonna say? Now I forgot. Well, whatever. Well, I'm glad to be here. I know I've skipped a couple of streams recently, but I've been just having stuff going on with my cats and just nonsense. But not only nonsense, also good things. I've been busy too, so lack of sleep, all kinds of crap. So, oh man, yeah. So looks like I've told him we'll hopefully have new merchandise coming soon. So look out, look out. It's gonna be posted, on our Bandcamp and everything, and I'm excited because I can always know that Vas. Hi, Miguel. Glad you're here. I don't know if I had texted you that one day, but I did update my whole driver. I'm talking about like my not just the driver. I did finally download the driver for the interface, but I did also update, or Kenjin helped me. Well, he did most of the stuff, but I updated my driver for my whole processor. I updated that, and he yesterday updated a bunch of stuff on my computer. But when I downloaded the driver for the interface, and then when I updated the driver on the processor, I have not lost sound. Ew, what does that look like? Let's go in there. Yes. So I hope the ad. I know you're following me, or you're subscribed to me, so you don't see an ad. I wonder if Zagros can let me know when the ads are done. Okay. Yeah, you have to subscribe to me in order to not see ads. So hit the subscribe button. Help me get to my goal here. When you subscribe to me, you don't get any ads. That's one of the privileges that you get when you do that. I have also changed when you can see here what I charge now for my readings, for my different readings. It looks a little fucky, so I'm going in there now. Hopefully my computer won't crash and I can fix it, because I don't like what it looks like right now. So let's see. Oh no, before 500 bits. Okay. Sorry, guys. I just changed that early. Oh, okay, so right here. Okay, so it has to be. I see. I see. Okay, so that looked better. Should look better now. Yeah, you don't see ads, Miguel, because you are subscribed to me. But anyway, so what I was saying is like, I always love when our band, when we get new merchandise in, when we order merchandise, get merchandise done. Yeah, you're special. No, you are special though as a subscriber. So you are special. You can feel special. So anyway, so whenever we get new merchandise, it's like new beginnings, right? It's like new beginnings. It's a new album because it's pretty much per album is the new merchandise, right? So the third album, we're in the process right now. We're getting close to, good things. So so it's like new beginnings, and I love it because it is really new beginnings. There's gonna be a lot of different, like, things are gonna be very different when you see us live next time. Things are different. Member changes, okay? Position changes too. And we have finally found an amazing drummer that is like just powering through this really hardcore, and we are very impressed. As soon as he got it, and the progress is really it's coming along well, better than well. So it's just like it feels completely flowing. I completely have a feeling of trust already developed with him, where it's like that I can trust his beats to follow his beats, right? How it's supposed to be. But in the past with other drummers, I would have a little bit. I would still. But with him, it's like I can really trust it. I still always do my own, in my head, because you never know. But all in all, good things, really good things. So I'm really happy. The snake painting. What snake painting? You mean the Ouroboros here? Yeah, the Ouroboros. Okay. Gave you an idea. You gotta text that later in group chat or whenever, whenever. I want to hear that idea. That was a painting that was requested by Promethean for me to paint when I still did my painting sessions on here, which I may start that back up again too. I may do a couple of nights where I paint. A couple of nights where we sit here and talk. A couple of nights gaming. It's all an option, so it's all on the table. I just I don't know how long I'm going to be on today, considering that stupid headache that I have. It's I know why I have this headache. It's more like a relief headache. Like today has been just, my blood pressure has been just, and my pulse just going through the roof because my cat is really sick. She has a very dangerous thing. Her one lung collapsed. So I took her to the vet. So I have to medicate her now every day and stuff like that. And hopefully that this collapse was caused by some sort of infection, which I am almost certain that it was, because we had a respiratory infection between the cats go around, and I think it may have just lingered with her, and then ultimately, because I didn't treat it, because I didn't really know that it was severe with her, that it ultimately caused the mucus buildup, and so there was no airflow to the one lung, and so it caused the lung to collapse. So now she's on antibiotics and she's on steroids, and hopefully, if that was the cause, which I think it could be, because the doctor, she said she cannot rule out cancer, she cannot rule out heart disease. The heart and the lungs are very close related. But she gave me the kind of the vibe that she didn't see that was really what it was, and she kind of gave me the thought that it was due to who's over there? Oh, okay, Kitty, my black cat. She's on the roof. That it was due to a buildup from an inflammation, from an infection, etc., which, if treated by antibiotics, will subside, and the steroids will help, inflate the lung again. So, toy, as we say in German, knock on wood, press your thumbs, that it will work for her. So it's been like so stressful, and it's been like I've been freaking out all day because waiting on the doctor's phone call to tell me what is even wrong with her at all, because I'm thinking she has cancer, she's dying. Yesterday was when it clicked with me, when I really stared at her and I sat there with her. I was like, because I thought she had a tapeworm. I thought she had something with her abdomen wrong, because she was walking weird. I'm like, she's got a tapeworm in her butt. That's what I was thinking, But the more I looked at her yesterday, and the more I spent time with her, her symptoms were screaming breathing problems. Same symptoms that my mother would always get when she would have attacks of her emphysema, the dilated pupils, and just like she was breathing rapidly for days now. I just thought she was in pain from the tapeworm, and that's why she was breathing like that. But the more I looked at her, I was like, that little girl has breathing problems. That's what that is. Yep. And next thing you know, we go to the vet, and of course, my psyche was right there, and found through X-rays, $235 later, found the collapsed lung. So hopefully, this will now be treated. This medication will help, and then things will get better. So. But so that's what I'm saying, because I was like this all day, like so now I'm just like calming down. I'm having a little drink, and I'm relaxing. That now I'm getting a headache because my pulse and my blood pressure and everything is just coming down now, because I'm chilling out. I'm finally kind of a little more relaxed, knowing that hopefully my cat will be okay. As of right now, the chances are pretty good that she'll be okay, but you never know. But I'm really glad to be back. I know I've skipped a couple of days, but like I said, we were busy. I was busy with my band and busy with other things. So I had to kind of take a little break. Been exhausted too. We've been nonstop at work too. Even so, season is over. We've been still busy, which is great. Like I wanted to be busy. Kiki. I wish I could show you guys on the camera how she's standing at the window with her eyes like this, like a creepy little ninja wants to come inside. Kiki, you can't come inside. Why? Because you're bad. Oh, I don't know if you guys can hear her. She always meows her. Kikiti. She's so fucked. It's either her on the roof or Bjorn. One of the two will be on the roof and crying, trying to get inside. You can't come with your marble eyes. She's crazy. She's my oldest. She's like 15. You would never know. She has like a limp leg that when she sleeps on it for too long, she'll get up and kind of drag it behind her for like a couple of seconds. But she's got a messed up ear, a cauliflower ear they call it. But I have 3 cats that have it. Fucking cats. I'm like, tomorrow morning I gotta go to the vet again, because tomorrow morning I'm taking my little one, Diana, to get spayed. My whole life revolves around these cats. And sometimes I really think that these animals, because you know how I feel about animals. I believe they're like little people, that they can very well understand and grasp, and they have a conscience. Sometimes I really think they take advantage of me. They take advantage of me, because you see anybody else's cats, they're not as needy And it's because I kind of give in, and I try to give them like the best life, that they can have, whereas other people are just kind of like whatever about their cats. So now they're like taking advantage of me. They're like, feed me now, you do it all the time, like at this time. And it's just like, wow, dude, you are a spoiled rotten son of a bitch. But anyway, I'm excited. New things are coming, guys. New things are coming. I'm happy about it. It was time. Oh, I gotta go on my multi-stream. Sorry about that, because I wasn't even in there. I can't see now. Who's saying? What is this person saying? Who is it? I can't. Text something again, Facebook person. I didn't switch to a multi-stream fast enough. I can't read what you're saying. Oh, hi. How are you? Welcome. Sinead? Is that how I pronounce the name? Or Sinead? I wonder. Yeah, they really do like routine. They do, but they're just like so. They whenever they puke right on my porch. They have a huge property that they can go and just puke anywhere, in the grass, by a tree, anywhere they want. They can even puke in the driveway where nobody really walks, but they puke literally right on my porch, and it's just like, and I gotta clean it. And with as many cats as I have, there's almost like, sometimes there's every day where I have to clean up vomit, and I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me? You cannot go down the stairs and puke down there in the grass. You have to be up here on the porch and do that to me. Fucked up. Oh, we talked about this before. And I didn't know who that was. I still don't know who that is. Wow. That's why I was, as soon as I saw your name, I was like, I think it looks familiar. I think so. What kind of music is it again? You said it's like pop. No, didn't we talk about new wave after that? And everybody said that it was kind of like that. That it was kind of like new wavy a little bit. I need to, but it's like there are so many bands and performers that I need to listen to, and it's like I lose track. I'm not gonna lie, I really do lose track. Hey, Mr. Weird. Thank you for... Yeah, 80s. Okay, yep. That's yeah, new wave 80s. Yeah. Perfect. I will definitely listen to that. Thank you for coming, Mr. Weird. Good to see you. I know it's been a minute since I've been on, but I had stuff going on. I needed to take a break, so priorities, That's just how it goes. It's going. I'm tired, but it's going. That's why I'm probably not going to be around for very long today, because I got to get up very early again tomorrow to go to the vet again tomorrow, and then hopefully that'll be it for a minute. But I'm really thankful to see everybody. And I really do want to say that I changed a lot of stuff, right? So whenever, when it comes to readings now, check it out. They're free 1-card readings, right? So you just have to say the word. And then 150 crystals give you a 3-card reading. And then 500 bits gives you a full 10-card reading, right? So I have adjusted that a little bit. So I'm hoping that can be something. Okay. Cheese leaf. I didn't even know you were here. You were lurking. I lurked in your shit the other time. That was cool. I didn't know you were streaming that stuff. So it's a change. It's a change for me, you know? It was a little bit of a change up for me. And I like that stuff. You know, I'm European, so... Oh, thank you for liking the stream. Yeah. You know, I like soccer. I'm a team handball player. I was a team handball player for 10 years. My father was a pro. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the sport. It's not the American handball. It's team handball. And my father was a national player for Serbia. And so that was like in our family. That's what I did. I was an athlete for most of my life before I moved to the U.S. And then the U.S. doesn't really have this, at least not in the area where I'm at. So it's like, nah, I'm an athlete. I'm an artist second. I'm an athlete first. But apparently now that shit has switched, unfortunately. So here I am doing this. All right. So anyway, I'm giving readings, guys. This is cool. This is awesome. I'm excited because it's been a minute. So who did it first? It was Cheese Leaf was first. You know, okay, so, and I'll do you after that, Weird, but I do want to say, you already spent those channel points now, so of course, you know, I'm going to do it. But I do want to say, you still get a free 10-card reading, too, because you're my subscriber. So anybody that is subscribed to me, they get a monthly 10-card free reading. So that's included with your subscription. So subscribe to get your 10-card reading. Okay, so we'll do Cheese Leaf first. Yeah, so now you get a 3-card reading now, and then your 10-card you can cash in whenever you want, which I think is great. Oh shit! No, this is what aggravates me. Okay. All right. You have anything specific, Cheese Leaf, or you just want something just general? Okay, cool. Okay, so Langford, you can get a free 1-card reading. Yes. Just tell me what you want it to be about. Ooh. Okay. So it's been a minute. So let me make sure. So you got the Ace of Wands here inverted. Okay. This is my first 3-card reading. I've never really done free 3-card readings. Okay. So please bear with me. So since it's been a minute, I have to look this up. Okay. So there is an indifference, a loss of energy, passivity, delay in plans or journeys right now for you, Cheese Leaf. That's something that's happening. This is the Ace of Wands inverted. Okay, there you go. We got the 3 of Pentacles inverted. Okay, so there's like a very similar to this one. There's a mediocrity. There's a not really wanting to be working with others in a team. Being a little more, you know, by yourself in a way. There's poor workmanship or quality. Okay. The Magician. Now that's good. I'm glad that you have that. The Magician. So. Oh, thank you, Hydra. Thank you for following. I appreciate you. Okay, so. Langford, I'm good. How are you? This right now, what I'm doing right now is for Cheese Leaf. And then next will be Mr. Weird. And then it will be you, okay? And then I'll give you 1-card reading. You just got to type here in chat what you want me to talk about. What you want me to give you the reading about, okay? So, the Magician. That's a really good card, Cheese Leaf. So that is, you're putting your creativity to use. You're exploring your own potential abilities, manual dexterity, skilled hands, emerging talent. That reminds me of your stream. That reminds me of what you stream. You see what I mean? You see how this kind of like coincides together? So that's what I'm seeing here. That's what I'm seeing there. And yeah. Okay, so that's it for you, Cheese Leaf. That's good. That's good. I like that. Perfect. So now let's see. We got Mr. Weird is next. And oh, hi, Emily. Okay, a general 3. Perfect. You're welcome, Cheese Leaf. You're welcome. Okay, and Langford, if you can tell me what you want me to give you the 1 card reading about, you know, you just let me know. Because the 1 card readings are free, guys. So if you want a 1 card reading, just say the word. Am I being the psychic? What is that? ZM. Oh, am I being psychic? The psychic, my ancestors. The Z is just an accident. Okay, I see. That's what you want to know out of your 1 card reading. Okay, no problem. No problem. Let me do Mr. Weird here real quick. Oh. Wow. That is good. That is good. Mr. Weird, let's look at it. The world. You got the world. Speaking of completing a journey successfully, victoriously, triumphantly. Okay, so that is the first card. That's really good. Hard-fought victory. Successful outcome over adversity. Very good. You can see here, even on the card, how she transformed, and the beasts she overcame are shown right here, you know, in her journey. This is really good. The Queen of Cups, okay? That is somebody around you really cares. Very caring in about you. Kind, devoted, imaginative, a guiding personality. Somebody like that around you. Your wife, I will assume, in that sense. Okay, really good. Okay, so let's see. What do you mean by from a past one? What do you mean by that? The Magician. You have the Magician here. Mr. Weird, which is great. Skilled hands, manual dexterity, exploring and discovering your own abilities. Baby Meows, is that you? Yes, now it's Bjorn. I told you, one of the 2 cats. Hey, Baby Meows, what are you doing? So yes, you have really good 3 cards here. Really good 3 cards. Perfect. Hold on 1 second, okay? Hold on 1 second. Baby Meows. You can't come inside, Buddy. You can't. You can't. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, so now let's get back here. We got... Is there a message from some called Leanne? Okay. Let's see. And then after that, Hydra, I'll check that out, okay? Baby Meows. What's wrong with you? Silly guy. Okay, let's see. From someone called Leanne? Okay. Let's see here. Okay, so the Five of Cups. Okay, so it's talking about a broken relationship. It's talking about, you know, a romance that once was but no longer exists. Okay, that's what this card is talking about. I don't know if that's Leanne or not, but that's what this card is speaking about. Okay, marital disappointment, regret, and loss. Okay, so that's what this card is representing here for you, Langford. So now, Hydra, you wanted to know if you're the psychic that that your ancestors want you to be. Ah, looks that way. Knight of Wands looks that way. So you just pretty much charge forward and pretty much with no regards of anything, which is not always a bad thing. Sometimes it can be, but I think in this scenario, it's rather a positive thing. Hasty decisions, a sudden journey, and impulsive behavior, okay? But it is, you know, you're straight out. You're very quick to put yourself in the place that you think you need to belong in. Okay, so that's good. I like it. I think this is good. I think this can be good. So I think this is a nice thing. Okay? So that's for you there, Hydra. Okay, so far so good. Yeah, I get a positive. Whenever I get that card, I get the Knight of Wands, I get a positive feeling. But it depends, you know, it depends on the situation too. It can be applied in a different way too, you know, but most of the time I think is a positive thing, so. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so as you guys can see, it's in there now. You get free 1 card reading, and you just spend your crystals that you obtain by watching me, and you spend those on your 3 card readings. And if you want to have a completely free monthly reading, you just subscribe to me. Oh, yes, I know. It's not only that. Because I mean, it can be annoying when people are constantly, you know, I get that too. Um, but it is nice to be able to help. But what I really hate is that you see everything coming. You see this happening, and it's like, okay, so I'm gonna say this now, and everybody's against me. No, 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 no. Oh no, there's no fights occur, arguments occur, and then in the end, it's like it did happen that way, you know, or it's even like. Then it goes so far that the people will say, you made it happen because you said it. You made it happen because you said it. But I don't believe that it's like this most of the time. There has to be a really strong intent and really a ritualistic point to it to be able to do that, right? Just saying, okay, I already know what's going to happen is not going to manipulate the situation into happening, right? I don't believe that for 1 minute. It's not that easy, because if it were that easy, then the world would be a different world. You know what I mean? So it's like I hate that, because but And then the third thing is that it's just people cannot believe it, even so it occurs, and these things happen where you just where they're like, there's no way that you could have known. How did you know that? They're like, you fucking, like, you went and you did this and you researched on Facebook or you did something. No, I didn't. I knew it, and then they cannot believe it. They're so fucking, like, blown away that they cannot believe it, right? And that one I hate because it's like, I mean, I laugh about it because I think it's so funny, because I sit here and I'm like, no, I did know that though, and there's like, no way, there's no way. But it can get annoying because it's like you are a problem. You're the problem because you gotta. Sometimes not everything is already in a mathematical equation. I talk about that all the time, and this is the type of thing that's just not, so. Oh man, I'm telling you, when I do this here, when I do my readings here and such, and it's like a 2.5 hour stream or whatever, at the end of the stream, when I'm done, I am exhausted because this is a lot of effort. This is a lot of, like, taking in energy, filtering it, excreting this energy, and doing all these things in between, manipulating and all of that, right? So it's like, it's exhausting. It's exhausting. And when I say manipulating, I'm meaning, like, manipulating. I have to literally manipulate the energy and the magic to be able to come to me so I can see anything at all, right? So even just it's like breathing. It's like heavily breathing while you're running, So after you're done, you're just really exhausted, Generational curses, yes. Yes, I love that shit. I love that shit. The generational curses is always so great because it's like, dude, I mean, okay, this is just how what I have learned in my practices is that if it is a real authentic generational curse, it's impossible. I don't know if you agree with me on that, but it's impossible. You can learn to live with it. You can learn to try to manipulate it in some which way, but it's impossible to actually break that curse. That curse is so deeply embedded now in your family, in your DNA, in your blood, in your spirit. It's virtually impossible. There's no way. There's no way. Oh, that feels so good rubbing my eyes. Oh my god. You guys know how that feels sometimes? My guitar player calls it an eyegasm. Oh, yes. That's true. You do. But I've had people tell me about their generational curse and ask me, like, can you do it? Can you do it? But I've never actually sat there and actually went through because most people they'll I mean, like, normies, right? They'll show interest and they're like, oh yeah, can you help me? Can you help me? And then talk to you about this topic for like 10-15 minutes, and then they'll never bring it up again because it's just like a little game to them, like a little something like, oh, that's so cool, you know what I mean? And anybody that's serious about this has never really brought this up to me and said, hey, can you actually help me and figure this out for me? You know what I mean? Like, other things, yeah, like residual energy or spirits that they wanted to cleanse their house out of, that regular shit. I've helped with that before, but generational curse, I've never actually. I have a generational curse on myself, that has been plaguing me since I was born, pretty much, and I am certain that it was an accidental generational curse. It was a curse not meant for me and my brother. It was meant for my mother and my father. But because, of the strength of it, it's spilled over. So my brother and I have this on us now. And it was my grandfather that did that. And it was not... My grandfather was a wonderful man. It was nothing like that. But it's a long story, I'll get into it one day if somebody asks. But, so I know the feeling, and it's like, I have all the tools it's not going to happen. It's part of you, and you should embrace it in a way, right? Because it is really now your your grandfather. In my case, my grandfather, he's dead. He's a god, right? So you embrace that this god is always tied to you all the time around you, and your life, so embrace it. It's a path of walking through stone walls and crossing rocks with bare feet and making your feet bleed and coming out on the other end still. So embrace a generational curse. Don't falter under it. That's not gonna do anything. But that's not really a curse. I mean, it's a blessing and a curse. How we always say that shit. Yeah, yeah. I mean, if also yes, if it goes so far back, I mean, even finding the beginning and the end, or the beginning of it, that's that's the problem in itself. And then of course, not to mention how many fake and how many posers are out there saying I'm cursed, and it's like, no, you just dumb and make wrong decisions. Like, can I tell you this? I have to tell you this because I see what you're doing. You're making wrong decisions. It's not a curse. You're cursing yourself by doing fucking idiotic shit. Oh. Ah. So upon death. Yeah, upon death. Yeah. That's how it happened with my grandfather. Yeah. That shit is harsh. That shit is harsh. But wouldn't be where I am or who I am if it weren't for that today. And I know that sounds so cliche. People always say, yeah, I don't regret anything, and I would have never changed my past because then I wouldn't be the person that I am today. You know what? There's a lot of things. I don't really necessarily regret anything that I've done. No, I can't really say that. But would I change things that I have done in the past? Absolutely. There's many things that I would change. Do I regret them? No. But I do believe that even if I would change these different things, I would still be probably the same person, or at least similar to the person that I am now. You know what I mean? Interesting. In 100 years. It's a new day. It's a new dawn. It really is. These are new beginnings. New beginnings. Today was a big step in the right direction when it comes to, like, I feel like political matters. We struck a little tiny bit of a breakthrough that will tear down some walls when it comes to corruption around us, and things like that, like systemic failure of the systems, right? So I think that our generation, I said this before, we are going to experience some major changes and some good changes. A lot of things will be exposed that have been hidden, that have caused so much harm. I think things are looking up. The only thing that we're not beating time on right now is the destruction of our planet, and that's a problem. But we're trying. We have very good people, scientists and people that care about this stuff, and they're working hard every day. So we have to have faith in these people too, and we have to support them. We have to do what we can. Don't throw your fucking garbage out of the goddamn car window, man. Find a garbage. Leave it in your car until you find a garbage. Don't be an asshole. Oh, I love that. The Indian, that's so interesting. As I have kind of grown and read more about these things, it's like, what is the book? The big book that, shit. Somebody else reminded me of it and told me to read it. The Indian book of Hinduism, I guess. I was always the person of Asia was always my go-to. I really love the Asian culture. I love that how old it is, and how they have maintained their really ancient culture, even in their modernized, highly technological time now, how their countries are, I mean, parts of China, I guess, Japan, and so on. So it's like I've always loved that. I've always loved the histories of these things. But the Indian thing has come really kind of tore at my heartstrings a little bit. I've watched many documentaries on it. On the praise of the animals was always something that I was really into. How they celebrate the cows at a certain part of the year. They celebrate the monkeys. There's so much symbolism in Hinduism, and I love that. I'm a fan. I love that. I think it's so interesting. Yeah, we use our time to discover ourselves. That's a good, yeah. Oh, hi, Promethean. I'm glad you're here. Yay. Yes, yes. And this is very similar to, actually, exactly the same to, the also through paganism that I'm involved in. It's the same. I have a very close connection to the Vanir. I have a very close connection to Freya and Freya. Um, so this, of course, now Thor is one of those, that speaks to me as well. And then, of course, Wotan is always there. But, you know, we can know what is the feeling, who we are closer to, closely related to, actually, maybe even related to, like DNA wise related to. Yes. That's awesome. That's exactly, yes. I love that. I love that. I find that so interesting because it's really like they understand how the worth of something, right? They have an understanding of the worth of something, and that's how they treat it. They treat it with respect that it deserves, Oh man, fucking headache. Because people I can't really say people of no religion, but people of no spirit, and people of just like, they just use anything for tools. They don't care. They're just gonna eat that fucking cow, right? They're gonna go to the grocery store, they're gonna buy the meat, and they're gonna consume that cow, and they're not gonna think twice about it. And it's like, if you walk them through the process of what this cow went through before it came to your plate, would you change your mind? Probably. Like, if they were physically there, you know? So it's like, I love that because we have to respect any of this, and it's not just animals, it's anything. It's anything that gives us sustenance, or that gives us life, or makes things possible for us. We should respect that, and we should really um show it respect, whatever it is. You know what I mean? What is the book now that I was talking about? For fuck's sake, I'm gonna look that up real quick. And everything does have a soul. Exactly. Exactly. That's exactly, yeah. That's exactly, I agree. Okay, wait a minute. So this book that I was talking about, somebody told me that I really needed to read it. I need to find it. Mahabhatra, or what is it called? What the fuck is it called? Please tell me, because I cannot. Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so the Bhagavad Mahabharata, Mahabharata. Okay, Mahabharata. And what about the Bhagavad Gita? Is that something? Is that something I should get into? Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita. Okay. going in my stuff right now because I need that. My next purchase is going to be the Sanskrits. I've been talking about that. You know, my research and my education and knowledge has really been backwards, right? Because these are the things I should have started with and then branched out other. But unfortunately, the way I developed what I learned was backwards. You know, Hollywood taught me stuff first, or I heard about stuff, and then I spread from there, right? So, but Sanskrit, the book is like $100 something, and I haven't had the money. I had to really invest in other things, right? But as soon as I do, yeah, okay, I know all of these goddesses. Now, you know, yeah, Isis, you know, of course. Kali? So I know, okay, wait a minute. So let me read that then. Isis, Diana, of course. Astarte, I'm not sure, but it reminds me of what's her name? Hecate, of course. Demeter, I think so. I'm not exactly sure. Sounds familiar. And Kali, Yanan, but isn't Isis? Isis is I thought was a Egyptian goddess. Osiris and Isis. So they're probably all from different. Yeah, Hecate is. Yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah, they're all from different. Gotcha. Now let's see. Okay. Oh, they got that Mahabharata in oh, that's it right here. Right? That's what I want. I don't know how good you can see it. That's what I'm gonna get. $50 hardcover. Don't care. Add it to my cart. That's what I do. I add these to my cart and then I put save for later. Okay, so that one and then the Bhagavad Gita. These are, I believe, the similar of the Asatru Edda. It would just make sense, I think. The Vedas was another thing. Oh, that seems like they only have that one available in oh, there it is, hardcover. Or the Song Divine. Oh, okay, so I don't if I get the if I get the Mahabharata, then I don't really need the Bhagavad Gita, yeah? Is that how it goes? Okay, gotcha. The Holy Vedas, Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Samaveda, Atharva Veda. Now that's something I gotta get too. Add it to my cart. Doing it right now. Because that's really good. Because that we're doing this right now. Because I forget. People. Oh, the life of the princess. I love it. Okay. Because people tell me so much stuff all the time that I should read, right? And then I forget about it. And then I'm like, damn, what did this person say? I need to read this. And now that I added it to my cart, it's there. Ah, okay. But that's part of the Mahabharata. So I don't need to. Okay, good, cool. I'm excited. I love it because I just finished. What book did I just finish recently? Shit, I can't remember what it was now. What was it? Well, I finished the Delamalonicon. What was the other one? Shit. I can't remember now. But I'm almost done with the Asatra Edda. Yeah, Krishna Hare Hare, Krishna Hare. However it went, I forget it now, most of it. But we had to learn that in religion class in high school in Germany. That was one of our. I remember that was a homework that we had to do, and we had to learn the Hare Krishna prayer, and I was always really good at that, like learning these things, and I loved it because, religion subject in German high school is literally religion. It isn't just Christianity, it's all religion. We had to we had to learn about Hebrew religion. We had to learn about this, everything, and it's really good. It has kind of been a foundation for me when it comes to my knowledge. Oh shit, wait a minute, I haven't checked my Twitch chat. I got to, because I know when people spend any kind of crystals, I don't see it in my multi-chat. Okay, nobody did. Okay, good. Bad, but good. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Yes, that's how I went. Yes. I love that I'm seeing this. I love that I'm seeing this right now because it reminds me. Because I had to rehearse it. I had to rehearse the words back to my teacher, and if I got it perfectly right, he'd give me an A. That's how he taught us. And so many of the other teachers made fun of him and they said his methods were unorthodox and whatever. But what's so funny is that what's stuck after school by me the most is the things that this man, Herr Wispe, was his name. I don't know if he's still alive. I hope he is. I don't know. He was a heavy smoker, so I'm not sure, but he was a wonderful teacher. He made us a rehearsal. People hated that because they had to memorize stuff. But I do believe that I have to thank him a lot for my memory being so fucking, to the point. Guests freak out when they get me. Because sometimes guests don't come in for, 2 months or so, and I still remember the whole order. And they're like, are you even real? They're, shocked. They're like, you scare me. I'm shocked. And I'm like, got a memory like an elephant. And he was a wonderful teacher. And I have retained so much of what he's taught me, more than any class I've ever been to. If you hear this, teachers, meine Lehrer, Herr Wispe hat mir das meiste beigebracht. Von euch allen. So I said it in German. Even so they can probably understand me in English too. I know they can, but yeah. So it's like... Yeah, the Wiccan, I veered away from that so fast because it was, in my opinion, it was a little bit contradictory. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, okay, so the Wiccan religion talks about the god and the goddess, right? But then I have read books on Wiccan religion too that talks about a Christian god, and it's just like, okay, so that's so weird. That's really weird because it's just like a... I don't know. I feel like the Wiccan is almost like in I don't know. In a way, yeah, it can be looked at as a kind of a hippie religion thing, but in some ways it's kind of indoctrinated too, because it always has to be the god and the goddess, right? And it's just or then suddenly somebody says it's the Christian god. I'm Wiccan, but I believe in a Christian god, and it's like, okay. And like I said, I read it in a grimoire that I read, a Wiccan grimoire, if you will. And it's like, okay, so what is it? It's confusing. It's not really it wasn't for me when I realized, right? When I looked at paganism, when I looked at Satanism, I realized, I was like, yeah, I don't know. I think I'm good with this Wiccan thing, because it's kind of it's shaky. It's really kind of also shaky. It doesn't have really this like this strength and power to it. The foundation of it, I feel like. That's just my opinion, but okay, so the threefold reaction, so that's kind of like, to me, I see the point. I see the point, but I do think that it's maybe not, necessarily threefold, but it can be in different ways. But that's karma, right? And we speak of this, um, so that's definitely something that's, everybody gets what they deserve. Magic and magnetism, these things occur, so that's definitely a true part of it. Paganism and Christianity are merging in one. That in the US, not at all. In the US, we are very much shunned. We're heathens. They call us heathens. They do not accept us. They accept only one God, and they will not accept anybody that has more than one God. At least in the area where I find myself with Christians in Florida, in the Bible Belt. There's no merge. Like, these Baptists are fucking, forget it. There's no merging. Nothing. They will not hear it. They will freak out. They will call you. They will tell you that you're a devil worshiper, and which, sure, I am also. Like, but it's not. Yeah, see, and that is something that I do appreciate about Wicca too, is the respect and the appreciation of nature, right? Now, that was one of the main things that attracted, that made it attractive for me in the first place. And I really love that. And I think that anybody that practices Wicca is just one step away from becoming a pagan, right? And being just straight up pagan. A little bit more brutal, if you will. You know what I mean? A little more barbaric in that sense. Spiritually barbaric, esoterically barbaric, rather, right? Because Wicca is just kind of like this flower power thing. It's kind of like a little bit like that. But when you're a hardcore pagan, blood will flow. That's just how it is. Yes. Exactly, Hydra. That's exactly the thing. That's exactly the thing. The problem is ignorance and lack of education on these terms. Because everybody will talk about Eve all day long. Nobody will bring up Lilith. You cannot. She was bad. She was cast out. She was a demon. That is it. And so that is why the Satanic Temple, or the Church of Satan, has pretty much accepted her as their deity, as part of their pantheistic, system that they also have, in certain ways. Because you have this Satanism branches out just as well, right? So they have just taken her because she could cast out Christianity totally. She was a demon, a devil. She was a bad influencer on Adam, such and such. And this is exactly where we just hit the end of the circle. This is part of the things of the, in quotes, awakening of our generation, understanding that for instance, that bigotry is still very real, that racism is still very real, and that also suppression and oppression of women is still very real. Definitely not as bad as it was hundreds of years ago. It gets better as we go. That's how it goes. But it's still very real, and that's part of it. Now, because the white male Christian says Eve, she was made out of Adam's rib, and she was submissive to Adam, and she's the right one, because Lilith had her own thing. She did her own. She wanted to do her own. She's not looked at because she's not being controlled. by the male creature, right? That is very real. I cannot say that all men are like this, but the majority is. But as we see, women coming into power a little more, it's kind of like we women are just slowly, we're getting in there, we're patient, and we're working hard to, get into our places. And when we are in there, then we lead by example. Then we show, okay, hey, wake the fuck up. Like, you have a man, sitting in front of a female judge that has to now, this is reality now. This is reality. There will be females that will tell you what you need to do now. And you should probably listen, because we have a motherly instinct that the men lack. So any decision we make from the beginning, even if we're not actually mothers of children, of human children, doesn't matter. We have this maternal instinct. So anything that we tell you that you need to do or not do or whatever it is comes from deep within, and comes firstly from a place of maternity. Not anything else. Not control, not a power as men, because men were the hunters, really, right? In the beginning, always physically stronger than the female, right? So that was pretty much their part, right? So they are about power. They are about forcing things to occur, where we let the natural flow. But the problem is that the men, oftentimes, they do not trust that. They think that we have ill intent because of, maybe, could have many reasons, probably situational, but they need to trust more. That's the problem. The trust in us by men is very problematic. I feel like they need to trust us more. They need to trust us more. We will never lead you down a path of destruction. We will lead you down the path of real righteousness. We will lead you down the path of doing the right thing for yourself as well as for everybody else. That's what I think. Promethean? Hello? I saw you. I said hi. Oh, I gotta read all this. Hold on. Yeah, exactly. She asked questions. She didn't just bow down and sit there. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Exactly. Oh, I'm sorry, Promethean. Yeah, I didn't see anything. I'm sorry. Shit. I just saw your hello. Okay, good. Yeah, and see, that's the thing. That's the thing, Hydra. That's the thing. It's like that everybody, in that sense, when it comes to Hinduism, when it maybe comes to, I mean, I don't know anything about really much about the Indian culture at all, how men and women, how they live, how these things go. But, it is about, like, everybody needs to kind of know their place too, right? It doesn't matter if even if you're like a person, you are your individual person. But when it comes to, whatever you want to be, if you're a womanly, if you're a female person, if you consider yourself a female person, then, there is this caring, this nurturing, this maternal in you. That's just in you. That's our whole body is not designed, right? But our whole body set up, our whole circulatory system, everything, our organs, our everything, bones are placed so we can bear children, and then of course subsequently take care of children, right? So that's within us. Just like men are built to withstand, more pressure of physical, physical endurance, because that's just how they're built, right? So we need to understand that. And I think men have kind of like lost a little bit of that. They're like, they don't understand that we women still need to be protected by them. We still want to feel protected. We still want a man to make us feel protected, and we still want to be able to say, stop doing that, and say it in that sense without the man be like, oh my God, you're a bitch. No, with the man saying, she cares. She's such a motherly girl. You know what I mean? That's what we want. And oftentimes it's misunderstood. Our demanding, like our out, like how we project is interpreted as, oh my God, this person is trying to control, this woman is trying to control me, this woman is trying to destroy me in some fucking weird way, you know? And when it's most likely never like that, unless you get a really bad woman, you know, that is like that, you know, but I think so too. I think I said this at work today. I said that this is cool. So I was back there in the back of the kitchen because I was getting ice, and I said this, and nothing but men back there, right? Except for one girl besides me. And I said, men are so dramatic, right? Men are way more dramatic than we women can ever be, right? And I just say that shit, you know, because there's a bunch of guys back there. I'm like, you guys are so fucking dramatic. My God, you know, and I'm just joking around, just seeing what everybody says. Nobody says anything, really. They're just like, shut the fuck up, or something, you know. But the one guy, he says something. He goes, hi, welcome back, Miguel. He says, yeah, you're right. And I'm thinking he's mocking me. He's like, no, you're right. He's like, you're right. We're dramatic, and we are more dramatic than women. And I'm dramatic. He's like, and I can admit that. And I'm like, you know what? That's manly of you. That's manly of you. The fact that you just admitted that is manly. Because me as a woman, I admit shit all the time. Like, oh, I fucked up here. Oh, I messed this up. Oh, shit, I'm sorry. I said the wrong thing. I did the wrong thing. I always admit that because pride is not ego is not the thing. My ego is ginormous. Right? That's what the Satanists say. My ego is ginormous, which means my ego is fed well. I don't have to sit here and hide my errors, right? Because I have a weak ego, because I'm insecure and shit like that. No. If you make a mistake, you can admit it. Men, they will go through incredible lengths to hide an error. It's so ridiculous. Just say it. Just admit it. Miguel's like, I'm not dramatic. Ego. Or ID? What do you mean? Identity? Oh, well, you should care a little bit at least. Damn. No, but it's like I really feel that everybody should be able to speak their mind. First of all, right? This includes men, women, fucking gender fluid or whatever it's called. Whatever you want to call yourself, you should be able to speak your mind without being immediately cut down, without being persecuted for doing so. You should always be able to speak your mind, okay? So, but with that said, it's like when somebody tells me something that could be in some way related to me in a negative sense and could, I don't know, make me feel a certain way, it is what my reaction, the first reaction is I look at myself right away and I'm like, did I really do that, right? Unless I know I didn't, right? Unless I know for a fact I did not do that. But if there's just a slight chance that I really did do that, I immediately sit there and I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Okay, maybe I did do that. You know what I mean? Now, it's like this with men. I have oftentimes realized, like, you say something to them and they're so fucking emotional and butthurt. It's like I feel bad, but most of the time I really have to, like, laugh. Like, it just bursts out, like, I laugh so hard. Because I'm just like, whoa, dude. You're, like, 230 pounds, fucking big-ass man. You're whatever. And I say this thing to you, and you're suddenly just, like, so pissy or emotional or, like, suddenly you get, like, angry and you get disrespectful immediately. I'm like, dude, like, how manly of you is that, though? You know what I mean? I'm like, oh. And then you're just a bitch. And I'm like, okay, if you say so. You know what I mean? I'm like, God, what the fuck? Oh my God. I know. Hydra. Oh, millennials? What? Who is millennials? No, wait a minute, Miguel, though. Who? I'm a 90s girl. I'm not a millennial. But I want to know, what are millennials? When are they born? Ego and super ego. I gotta laugh. I gotta fucking laugh though. You were born 1996? No way. I don't know. Okay. Ah. Ah. That's so. Oh my God, Promethean. That's fucking. That's gold right here. Promethean just sent me some gold shit right here. I mean, not shit, but gold. Really, just gold all around. No shit. I gotta read more on that. That's really good. Sigmund Freud. I gotta get his collection. 81 to 96 are millennials? Well, that's a fucking huge gap. Well, I'm a 90s kid, but I guess I'm a millennial. I can be both. Right. Right. I just like, I'm a millennial. What the fuck? Yeah, I believe you, Miguel. You had the numbers so precise. There's no way that you're lying about this, because you know I can look it up. So why would you tell me something that's not true when you know I can find out the truth? So you were 80. Or before 80. Before 81, you were born. So Generation X. My mother was born 1960. What was she? Was that a Generation X too? Or what? I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. I knew it was true. My psychic powers knew it was true. Yeah, my mom was a baby boomer. But I think that's also... Oh, it's just... Oh, it's considered boomer. It's not even... Okay, that's the name. Okay, yeah, boomer. Baby boomer. Yep. Well, you know, I mean... Wait a minute. Hydra, wait a minute. Your niece asked you if if the dinosaurs were alive in 1996. They were. We had Jurassic Park. They were very well alive. You need to tell her Jurassic Park was there, and then you show her the video, the movie, and you say there's Jurassic Park. That's how you keep a child's imagination going, though. You know what I mean? That's really true. You need to say we had Jurassic Park and the dinosaurs. Yep, they live. They live. See, what the hell? So who made those rules? Who made those fucking rules? Economists. Okay, gotcha. Okay. Who's the most... Oh, Gen Z? But I agree with. I disagree with you, respectfully, Miguel, because I think that they're not dumb at all. I think they're actually very intelligent, but I think they just apply it in a different way. Firstly, that's what I think. Um, I think that what it is that they have just a little bit less of a handicap because they have so many gadgets and tools these days that can just make things. They jump over stuff and it makes things just easier for them. So they seem dumber, right? I think it's a parental thing, how the parents raised them, but I don't think that they're lucky necessarily, right? Because I feel like there's a lot of like weight on them right now too, though, right? Because of even comments like this puts a lot of weight on this young generation, that they have to be the predecessors and they have to be the examples one day, and it's hard. They're scared, right? There's a lot put on them. Media, right? This all so out there now. Everything is accessible by the fingertip, and they have to literally watch stuff where the people that are 20, 30, 40, 50 years older than them talk about them in that way, right? And now they're just like, damn, so depression sets in, and I think that this new generation, I really do think that they're also more like, I think they show in certain aspects more awareness than what we have shown in the past, when it comes to certain understandings. I'm trying to think of a good example to give, right? I don't like to talk about shit and then don't give an example. um I don't know. I can't think of one right now. Maybe one will pop up, but I think there's, I think a lot of things. Yeah, Promethean. Yeah, absolute generous. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, yeah. When you still had the fucking dial up. Yeah. Yeah, okay. And yeah, the dialogue. Yeah, so and that's the thing. That's the thing that I always criticize, Miguel, where I agree with you, is that this generation now has no idea how it is to actually interact face to face, like physical contact with other humans, right? Because technology has pretty much erased this now. It's unnecessary at this point for them to do that, because they can just do this, what we're doing right here, with their friends and all of these things. And I think that is something that will cause, which I think it's already causing, and it hurts my feelings all the time, even when I talk about it. It will cause a lack of like empathy between humans, even more so than we have already endured in the past, and that's dangerous. There's a coldness that's brewing because it's unnecessary now to build a connection. You don't see that person, you're far away from this person. You don't, there's no more like, there's no connections are being made, and it's not good, and I think it's bad, and I think that's a part of technology that has a bad impact on all humans, and I don't like it one bit. I don't like how empty my house is at all times. Nobody comes here. I hate it. I can't go anywhere, you guys know that, but people can come here, but nobody ever does, because it's just like they're in their own little thing, because they have everything that they need, everything that they want is right there, or with their fucking music equipment or art equipment or whatever they do. They don't have to go anywhere. But that's also where we lose the connection to where we came from, right? We lose the connection to Mother Earth. We lose it. We come from the ground growing up, and also what comes down, we connect. Like, it's so shitty. It's so shitty. I hate that. I hate that about this present times. I hate that. And that's exactly Promethean. That's exactly, my mother even said that before she passed. It, now everything is just out there, right? Everything is out there, which is great. Everything should be out there because we need to expose shit. That's huge. We didn't have all this shit, so people got away with shit all the time, so it's good. Exactly, Hydra. That's exactly. I agree. Yes. And that's it, Miguel. There you go. Parenting. That's it. That's my parents did the same for me. I was born '88, so when I'm like 6 years old, fucking Nintendo, Super Nintendo's the thing. We're playing Super Nintendo. My mom was like, hell no, outside now. My friend's ringing the doorbell. I'm going outside. Outside was my priority. The video game was my second priority. That was never my priority, right? But it almost became that. But my parents helped me. And then my father spending time with me. My father playing games with me and my brother all the time. My mother was more like the discipline, right? My mother was more like she played games with us, but, she was more like she helped with homework and stuff like that. My dad played with us, went outside in the yard. We fucking did all this shit together, and it's parenting. You got to be on top of that shit. Exactly, Hydra. Exactly. That's it. That's exactly it, Hydra. Same. We literally, my mom says to me, and I'm gonna like verbatim. My mom says to me, um, ich will dich, äh, ich will dich zu Hause, wenn die Lampen ankommen. Ja, Mama. I want you home when the lights come on. Yes, Mom. And then the street lamps would turn on, and Jenny, the street lamps are on. We gotta go. Oh, okay. And I'm going home. God, what I do to be there again? God, a lot. If the possibility, I would do terrible things to be there again. My mom liked spending time. She was never really about that me time. I mean, sometimes, yeah, she'd be like, "Can I get a moment to myself?" But it was really just like my mother always put my care and my brother's care before her own care. Like it didn't, if she told us to do something, it was because she cared about me. You know, 50-50 still good mix. I think. You know what I mean? That's it. Good. Yeah. That's how my mother was. My me time is after I was in bed and my brother was in bed. Yep, that was my mom's me time. Yep. Oh my god, my god. I would make soups. I would always make soups. My god, though. One time, guys, I made a soup. I took the bucket, right? And I put the water in there and with the hose, of course, and I picked my different flowers. And my mother, and we had a huge yard. We had so many different flowers, different plants, different fauna and fern and everything, right? So I put everything in there. But one time I took like a couple of my mom's like rose heads and pulled them off and put the rose petals in there and I stirred it all and I'm like, Mom, look, I made that magic soup. Da da da. Mom was like, what is in there? Is that my rose from my roses, my leaves? I'm like, oh my god, Mom, florets, I should say, or the leaves, because the leaves is whatever, but the florets. My mom was pissed. Oh my god, she was pissed as fuck. And then she teaches me, let me explain to you how long this road. I don't hear anything. I don't know nothing. I'm like, oh my god, sorry, Mom. I feel so bad. The homework, when I come home from school, immediately homework. I didn't even get to eat. First, homework was done. Yep. Immediately. But it's different in Germany. In Germany, the latest you will come home from school would let out at 1:20. Now we start school at like 8 o'clock. 1:20 school let out, and I'm home by 1:30, right? So 1:30, 13:30, I sit there and my mother will do the homework with me for like 45 minutes to an hour, and then my mother will cook dinner. Yeah, homework. Oh, I could not do anything. I was not allowed to do anything until homework was finished. And I think back then, of course, I'm like, this is so ridiculous. My friends can't. I don't care. When your friends jump off of a bridge, will you jump off of the bridge too? Right. You know, you guys all know that shit. But it's like, no, she didn't care. It's like, no, you're doing your homework first. That's it. Your homework first. And then you can do whatever you want for the rest of the night. Well, you know, go outside. But yeah, bedtime for me was like, I was allowed to watch the Dinos, if you guys remember that show, the Dinos, from like 2015, so 8:15 to 8:45, and then I had to go to sleep. That was my last allowed show that I could watch at night. You gotta go see me tomorrow? What does that mean? Well, I mean, you know, it wasn't like directly sit down and do homework, you know. It was like, hey, blah, blah, blah. How was school? Talking about stuff. Relaxing? No, no, no. There was no relaxing. No. It was like, how was your day? Blah, blah, blah. We talk about nonsense, and then we get into the fucking homework. Oh, no, I was planning to. I was planning to. So that's what you meant. Yeah, I'll be here. I'll be here. Are you leaving now? Is that why you're saying that? Yeah. No, I mean, you know, everybody grew up differently, you know. All right, Miguel. Well, I'm really glad you came, and you see, I didn't lose sound one time, not once. I'm like stoked as fuck about it. Okay, yeah, yeah. I will be leaving within the next 20 minutes or so myself because I have to get. Oh God. Well, I don't have to get up that early. Laboratory? What? There it is. Oh, Dexter's Laboratory. Oh God, Dexter's Laboratory. Yep, my brother really liked that one. I never get into that one so much. No more sound issues. Well, sleep well, Miguel. Then hopefully I see you tomorrow. I'll be here tomorrow. This is a good stream. I'm having a good time. I'm not regretting doing this. So hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Because I gotta get up early too. Because I have to go to the vet again. Hopefully that's gonna be it for a minute. But I doubt it. My other cat has to go too. But I'm almost feeling like I'm gonna ask my coworker to take me. Because I'm done bothering my brother with this. It's annoying. All right, Miguel. Thank you for coming. I'm really appreciative. It was good seeing you. I had missed you in my past streams. I was like, "Where's Miguel?" I said that every stream. I was like, "Where's Miguel? What the fuck?" And so I'm glad that you were here. And hopefully you'll be back tomorrow. Oh, I hope so too. Thank you. I'm worried, but I I have a good. I feel optimistic. A little. Sleep well, Miguel. Oh, yeah, you said that. That's right. Yep. Bye. But yeah, so everybody's different, but I do think there are really some fundamental things that'll keep, I really hate when I see these people, they blame video games and they blame TV shows and such, but it's like, did you take care? Did you look at your child? Did you spend time with your child? Did you monitor what they were getting into on the computer, what they were playing on the computer, what they were watching on TV? Did you monitor this? Do not blame the shows. They warn you in the beginning of the shows or the games. They warn you. They have big warning labels and signs that says, it's not, viewer discretion is advised, whatever you want to call it, right? And of course, as a parent, you can't control everything your kid watches, right? Especially when you grow up in Europe. I mean, there's literally, after 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock at night in Europe, there's nothing but porn on the TV. Or not porn on the TV, but porn commercials. Like, it'll still be movies and stuff, but the commercials will be exclusively erotic and pornographic commercials. I shit you not. When I grew up, that's how it was. Call this number. All about call. Naked women. Blah, blah, blah. Touching themselves. All of it. Right? And now my parents were hoping they're in bed. We weren't in bed. You know what I mean? But it's like... But there is a substantial amount of time where you can control what your child gets into. So I hate that parents are not being even blamed anymore. It's now teachers are being blamed, and it's like, teachers are there to teach. Of course, now granted, I grew up privileged in that sense because in Germany, teachers are very much educated, not just in the field of teaching, but they're educated in sociology and all of these things to be able to, how to interact with children, how to interact with other humans. They have degrees in all sorts of stuff to be able to even teach. Here in America, anybody can just teach. Anybody, pretty much. That is completely not acceptable in Europe. You have to have a super extensive resume of what degrees you have in teaching degrees, in even like therapeutic, classes, all of that shit you have to be versed in to be able to be a teacher in Germany, right? So it's like, you can to an extent blame the teachers in Germany for certain things, but even the parents didn't do that, because the parents in Europe they take a responsibility for their children, because the responsibility lays on them. That is their child, right? Yes, Promethean, I agree. Hydra, same. Yeah, my parents didn't block them, but my parents monitored. Yeah, so exactly, the internet, there are things that that a fucking 6-year-old child doesn't need to see. That's it. Like a 6-year-old child doesn't need to see a video of a police officer beating up another person, right? Just an example. 6-year-old doesn't need to see it. A 6-year-old doesn't need to see any kind of violence of that sense. Humans against humans, humans against animals, anything like that. There's just certain things that just, doesn't need to be happening like that. So, and that you say that you love a teacher, now that's huge. That's the biggest thing. You gotta love what you do, especially when you work with kids, right? When you work with fucking kids, dude, the impression you leave on these little children, when I see their eyes, like, and they're like, and they hear everything, and they just like absorb that shit like a sponge. You have to be the perfect fucking example. You have to be like the angel, the fucking Gabriel angel, right? Like, that's how you gotta be, and people don't understand it. They don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. They act up. I say this word here, and I can consciously know no child can see this because it warns. My channel warns that this is just for a mature audience. because we have to lead by example. You know what I mean? And those are, we learn about child psychology, how to act when a child has a problem, everything. Yep. Yep. Yes, and Promethean, of course, that's huge. That happens. That, of course, that's how I got into even fucking, I'm fucking 13 and I hang out with the 17-year-old boys, because in Europe that's normal. So it's like, okay, so, I mature fast. I get introduced to Rotten.com. I don't know if you guys remember, but Rotten.com was the thing, dude. Rotten.com was the thing. And it was like we had just started in the late 90s, early 2000s to go into computer rooms. We had them now in school. Computer rooms, right? So we would take class, like they would try out a math class or something in computer room. So we'd sit in front of a computer and 2 kids per computer. That's how they did it, right? Because they didn't have that many. And it was like each computer had internet access. There was no password. There was no nothing. So guess what? Hey, this boy, the 17-year-old boy, he showed me this page, rotten.com. Check it out. It has a bunch of dead bodies with blood and guts and all that shit. That's cool, man. That's metal. Let's listen to Saint Anger while we're at it. The teacher's not here yet. Fucking popping up Saint Anger fucking in the classroom while the teacher's not even in there. And we're like, oh my god, look, his head got cut off in the car accident. We were fucking dweebs. You know what I mean? We did that shit. But I mean, that's at 13. You know what I mean? But yeah, it is true what you're saying, Promethean. You cannot know what goes on there. But then if it will come out, right? And they will bring that to you. And then you can just say, don't say that, B. Or whatever, that's bad. Right. Hydra, good point. You're a teacher in and out of school. Exactly. You're always like 24/7. Yeah, I knew. I'm telling you, man, that site was fucked. Ah, little drinky poo is not so bad. At an age. At an age. And everything in moderation. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. Even fucking vegetables, if you eat them too much, they can become bad for you. You know what I mean? Everything. That's exactly, Hydra. That's a huge thing that you just said there. My mother had that motto. My mother had that motto. She never spoke it like this, but as I got older, right? Into my 20s, my mother would speak about, you would have never respected me if you would have seen me sit here as a junkie or something like that. How could you? Because you were supposed to lead by example. But now if you're better than your parent, then how can you respect, as a child, how can you respect your parent? Of course, there are different circumstances, but extreme, situation in that sense. Well, because, with you, Promethean, that's different, too, because it's, to me, it always sounds like B is not coming from, like, a mischievous or from, like, a malevolent place, even, right? That was different for me. I came from these places. I would fucking straight up disobey something that my mother would tell me not to do. Straight up. Knowing, right? And then, of course, when the punishment came, then I'm like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. But when I'm like, you know what? Whatever, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to do it. I don't care. I'm going to do it. And I just did it. I totally even jumped the part where I'm like, I don't care what my mom says. I didn't even think about it. I just did it. I was a little mischievous shit. That is different. And that has to be treated differently. And that has to be like, like educated and handled differently than some kid that just watches something and the fact that he talks about it, you can already know that it's with with an honest heart, not really knowing that it's bad. I will be sitting there and like, saying nothing, and then suddenly something will come up, and my brother's like, Jenny watched this and this today, and my brother's like, what, or something like that, and I'm like, and I hid it the whole time, and the whole time I sat there and I was fucking freaking out. They're gonna find out, and my brother says something. I'm like, God damn it, shut up. You know what I mean? Because I was a mischievous little shit. And Dutch is that's so similar to German. Als ein Kind sieht, dat je gek tut, gaat je tuis alles vertellen in woorden de ouders boos op je. What does that mean exactly? It means something as a child, everything that you do goes and something. You gotta translate that for me now. Die ouders gaan je niet boos op je worden, maar gaan je geen goed voorbeeld figuur vinden. Oh my god, it's so similar to German, but it's the grammar is what I can't, I can know the certain words. A role model. Figuur, yeah, figuur is, yeah. We'd call it idol in German, more like. If a pupil sees you as a hot mess and tell the parents at home, the parents will be mad at you. Makes sense. Makes total sense. Yeah, idol. In German we say idol. Idol. Right? Spelled the same way, just, So, it was always like, whenever I would tell my mom... My mom was so good. I would tell my mom, like, about a singer or some shit like that. Like, das ist mein Idol, Mama. Der ist mein Idol. Or, sie ist mein Idol. She's my idol. Right? My mom would be like, warum ist dein Vater nicht dein Idol? You should be like, why is your father not your idol? And then I would really sit there and I'd be like, wait a minute. Actually, my dad is my idol. But I you forget you're a kid, right? And you're just like so impressed by these fucking actors or something. But then your mother reminds you, it's like, oh yeah, actually my dad is my idol. My dad's the best, Oh, Portuguese? Interesting. That's cool. I speak a little tiny bit of Spanish, German, Serbian, and English. And I can get my way around understanding Japanese and saying tiny bits and pieces. Understanding Russian and saying tiny bits and pieces. And that's it. Britney Spears. I mean, come on, man. She was the shit, right? It was new. It was something very new, and I think that's what we all were like, yes, I mean, okay, so Hydra, you were born fucking 8 years. You're 8 years younger than me. So for me, it was like Britney came out, and I don't know, because I mean, I loved it, right? Everybody dressed as Britney one time for Carnival, right? For Fasching, what we call Fasching in Germany. Carnival, Fasching, depending on where you're from. Which is like Mardi Gras in a sense here in the U.S., right? Everybody once dressed up like fucking Britney. Because in Germany, it's like you dress up for this. Oh my god. That better not... Okay, no. Where in America for Mardi Gras, you don't really dress up. You dress up for Halloween. Now in Germany, you dress up for Fasching / Carnival. That's where you dress up as something. So there was this point where I'm like 13 years old and I dress up as Britney Spears. Hit me, baby, one more time. No, I was younger than 13. I was like 11 or something. I don't know. But yeah. So guys, I really gotta say, NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, Pink, Alicia Keys. Oh my God, that was big for me. She was big for me. Um, Remember Caught in the Act though? Remember a band Caught in the Act? Because Caught in the Act was before NSYNC and Backstreet Boys. Caught in the Act was so fucked because it was like Injurin, it sounded, when you say caught in the act, you can say cuts in the ecke, okay? Which meant puke in the corner. So it was like anybody that was a caught in the act, I was like, ugh, cuts in the ecke. You know what I'm saying? Puke in the corner. Caught in the act, cuts in the ecke. Ugh. So yeah, Caught in the Act was before them. But the feud between NSYNC and Backstreet Boys. In Germany, the feud between Backstreet Boys and the Kelly family. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of them. The Kelly family. They were like this family of a bunch of kids and the parents, like girls and boys. They all had long hair and they had this fucking van that they would travel throughout like Europe and play music, acoustic music. And they were great. You know, they were like this flower power family or whatever, you know. But in the 90s. And there was this huge feud. Which name? Caught in the Act? So there was this huge fuse between the Kelly family and the Backstreet Boys. And that was huge. It was fucking ridiculous. Oh, the Kelly family? Yeah. Oh, yeah, Lady Marmalade, that was a good one. Yeah, the Kelly family, yep. Have a good night, Hydra, if you're leaving. Have a good night. Yeah, the Kelly family. So, listen, guys, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to make a long story short, right? But I'm going to tell you right now how bad I was, what bad kid I was. I threw a rock at a girl in her eye because of that feud. And she had a black eye like this big. I threw a rock, like a fucking stone. I mean, it was probably smaller now, but it fit my whole hand. And I threw that thing at her eye because she was a Kelly fan and I was a Backstreet Boys fan. That bad. She had a black eye. It was, oh man, that was horrific. Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. So, yeah. Yeah. I remember her name, too. Her name was Jasmine. And we were friends. But I let somebody else influence me. Really badly. Somebody that was like 3 years older than me. And she influenced me very bad. Tell me why ain't nothing but a heart. And my gay senses were tingling hard. Right? No, but yeah. I mean, that's how bad that fucking feud was. Ridiculous. And I don't know, like, my mom had, like, this mix. I was the same, too. I could never really know, did I like the Kelly family or did I not like them? But my mom had, like, these mixed feelings, right? They would come up and she'd be like, oh, yeah, the Kelly family. But then it came to their music and what they were playing and stuff. My mom was, like, rolling her eyes, like, oh, God, the Kelly family, right? It was, like, these two different things. That's how she felt about it. You know, doesn't the past sometimes feel to you like it was a dream? Like it never actually happened because it's so far away and so long ago? It's a weird feeling. I don't like that feeling at all. Like it never even actually happened and it's all just in your imagination. Yeah. That's how my mom was. About it. That's so funny. There would be like one or two, and my mother was a very good musician, right? So there would be one or two songs from her. Like, now that's a good song, right? Where she was in it, but most of the time she's like, uh. Well, guys, I'm gonna just tell you right now, my headache is killing me. Exactly. Exactly. Oh my god. I know. They were on talk shows too. And they were just great people, right? They were so humble and nice. Like, there was nothing wrong with that at all. You know, they weren't like some kind of piece of shit. Nothing like that. But there's just like that hippie babbling and that music, like, after a minute was just like. But yeah, so I mean, these are good times, man. The past, bad times too, but mostly good. Mostly good. But isn't it weird too? It feels like sometimes I sit here and I just remember, like, it feels good, but there was so much bad, but I just kind of just remember the good or something. It's weird. And then sometimes you just remember the bad. Yeah. Your hands, I did always kind of think about that and discover that your hands really show so much of your life and how did your life go, man. It's so crazy. I feel like your hands carry everything, your whole self. Have you guys ever looked, when your hands changed and what they look like and how, you know your hands are really important. They carry all your memories and what you've touched, and it's so interesting for me to know because you touched it, right? Because your eyes saw it, but to say that you touched it is like to know that this was real at some point. This happened, you know. You touched that, so it was there, in that reality, whatever, But I don't know. I'm weird like that. I have weird thoughts like that. Because your eyes, what you see, then it goes in your brain, and there's no proof. It's all just like in there like that. But your hands literally have imprints of, I have certain scars that on my hands that I cannot even recall how I got them. But I know I've had them for like 20 plus years, right? And it's like, what happened there? How did I get this? Like this scar right here, I have a scar here. I have no clue, and it's just like you look at your hands, and it shows you everything about everything that you've done. I don't know. I find that stuff very interesting to think about. But anyway, I think it's only Promethean left in here, and like I said, my headache is really hurting me, and I gotta fucking snack on something, and then maybe think about going to bed. Yeah, see, you have the same thing. You have the same thing. Oh my god, here goes my neighbor at fucking 10 o'clock. It's the same thing. Oh, I will. It's just this whole stress today with the cat was just that I mean, it's gonna be better now. She's gonna get better. She's gonna get better. I have very positive hopes on that. So, yeah, with Skinny, I had to take her to the vet today because she's been breathing funny. She's been acting funny. I feel like she's been in pain, and at first I thought it was a. I said yeah at first I thought it was like a tapeworm, right? The last couple of weeks I'm like, it's probably a tapeworm because she eats so much. She's losing weight and not gaining it, and she seemed like she was in pain. So I'm like, she's got a worm in her butt and it's fucking her up. That was my thought. Yesterday, I sat there and I kind of just like pet her. And I did this all the time, It's not the first time I did that, but I pet her and I stared at her. And I have been noticing for the last few days her breathing has been just like, But I'm like, she's probably in pain from the tapeworm, so she's breathing heavily, right? I'm like, okay. Yesterday, I really actually paid close attention. I looked at her pupils, and I had realized already in the past her pupils have been always like more dilated the last week or so, and I'm like, okay, that could still be a pain of or a sign of pain, right? But the more closely I examined how she was acting, everything, the breathing, and her pupils, I'm like, she's having breathing problems. And I tell Draven yesterday, I said, is there, you think there might be such a thing as asthma in cats? I'm like, I think there might be. I'm like, I think that's what's wrong with her. She has breathing problems. It's not pain. It's nothing like she has fucking breathing problems. Yeah, and then I had made the appointment for her, and I take her in today, and they examined her. They couldn't really find anything at first. They said, okay, we have to do X-rays. I'm like, great, $235 for just the X-ray. My whole bill was like $404. So I had to leave her there because I had to go to work, and the Dr. Korn, she's the doctor that I've had a couple of times now, but it's the same veterinarian clinic, and I love that clinic because they really take good care of my animals. And I mean, they're pricey, but I guess not like, pretty much like any other vet, I'd say. They're not out of the norm. So she said, okay, I gotta get my x-ray. We gotta make an x-ray. Like, I noticed her breathing, and when I'm like listening in, she said I can hear a little bit of a crackling in there, and whatever. She said, I don't know if it's my imagination or if I'm really hearing this, but whatever. I'm like, okay, let's do the x-rays. Did the x-rays, called me at work, says, oh, we discovered something weird, and what we see is that her lung has collapsed. Her one side of her lung has collapsed. I knew it. I'm like, okay, I knew it was breathing problems. Okay, so her lung has collapsed. Okay, so then she proceeds to tell me, we don't know, normally what I would suggest right now is that we immediately haul her off to the hospital, the big animal hospital, FSU, or whatever the fuck that one's called. We gotta haul her off there, and da 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 da. Is that something that you could do? I said, no. I said, I am absolutely not financially stable in any way to undergo anything like that. She's like, yeah, that's absolutely reasonable and understandable. She said, so we don't know exactly what's causing that. And, and how it is, veterinarians are veterinarians, but oftentimes they're at some point nowadays salespeople first and then veterinarians second, unfortunately, right? So as she proceeds to talk about, if her lung is twisted, if her, the collapsed lung has twisted itself, she'll need surgery that will not be able to be corrected without surgery, blah, blah, blah. I cannot outrule cancer. I cannot outrule heart problems because the heart and the lungs are closely together. But, she's kind of hinting around that she's not getting the vibe. She's not really seeing that that's what's causing this, right? I can tell by how she's talking. So, yeah. So finally, as this progresses, she finally goes, there could be that there was some kind of respiratory problem in the past that has caused mucus to build up so bad in there that it blocked the access for air to the lungs, and that's what could have caused the collapsing of the lung. Now, it makes perfect sense because there was the respiratory thing. I don't know if you can remember Promethean, but Björn had the respiratory problem that was going around through all the cats. Of course, they all had that respiratory shit, and that was a few weeks ago, and then it was mended, right? So if she has had this whole time without medication, because I did not notice that there was something, that it was taking such a toll on her, then the mucus buildup could have been like a few months now of buildup, and then this would have caused subsequently the collapsing of the lungs. And that is my thought. Okay. Good thought. That vet didn't even say that. But yeah, I mean, So she suggested that if it came from an infection, because she said she cannot rule out that it was an infection, um, uh, and if it was an infection, so she said we have to go step by step now. She wants to treat her first for an infection. Perfect, makes perfect sense. Put her on antibiotics. This infection will be killed. The mucus will be released. You know, second thing, she's on steroids, which will help inflate the lungs again. Same treatment that my mother was on. Actually, the exact same, like, um, name even of the steroid, I think. Um, Steroid to get the lungs back up, you know? So, exact treatment you give a human pretty much that has a collapsed lung, breathing problems of any sort. My mother had COPD, emphysema. Steroids was the thing that she was prescribed. So that's what she's getting now. So toy. We're hoping that this will resolve the issue. I have high hopes because she's not a very active cat. She's a very laid back cat. She doesn't even leave the property at all. She doesn't play. She doesn't, things like that. She's never really in, so for her lung to be twisted, I'm unsure, and I'm really hopeful that that's not the case. I really hope that this is really due to an infection or, pneumonia, something like that caused this mucus buildup and will now, because of the medication, start resolving itself. She's a young cat. She's only like probably 5 or 6 years old. She's not an old cat. It's seemingly the vet is not thinking it's cancer. The vet, I think, the vibe I get is not heart disease. So I'm thinking it's something like this that I just have not noticed, that because she's such a relaxed cat, right? All she ever does is sleep anyway. Since I've gotten her, I've had her for 3 years now, and since I first got her, she just likes to sleep and eat and cuddle. She's not a playful. I think it's because she's declawed, right? That's how she showed up at my house. She doesn't really like to play. She's just a very relaxed cat. So I think that could have something to do because her behavior, all in all, has not really changed. There's no change in behavior because she's always been just sleeping a lot. She's always just been laying there. So I think that I think a lot of these things will work in her favor, and I think that her age hopefully will work in her favor. And I really hope and think she'll be okay. She's been eating normally, like she's been eating and drinking, and it's okay. They said she was a little dehydrated, but I could not really afford the $45 fluid, fee, which is okay. She'll be okay. She gets water, she gets wet food every day. So I have hopes. I'm hoping it'll be okay. Because these vets are very good that I'm with, and they know what they're doing. And as soon as she told me the medication that she's administering, or that she wants me to administer every day, I was relieved, because I'm like, okay, this makes perfect sense for me as a layman in my head. I think I have a little bit of an idea what's good for a cat. I've had animals my whole life, so I'm like, okay, she's giving her steroids and she's giving her antibiotics. Perfect. I think this is a good thing. So. But, that shit had me so stressed out, and my anxiety was so, my heart was just like all day, because I'm so scared she's going to tell me my cat has cancer, she's going to die. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, fuck. And then finally the kind of relief, right? Because we're not over the hill yet until she starts showing signs of recovery. But, kind of the the validation that she probably will be hopefully okay just kind of gives me this like release and relief, and I'm just like, okay. And now my headache is kicking in, because my fucking shit was spiking high all day. So I should also eat something else, because I only had a salad. I think that'll help me too. I'm so tired. I know. I just want my fucking cats to be okay, for fuck's sake. Tomorrow I have to. Yeah, I think that's enough. I've been drinking a lot of water today, though. But tomorrow I have to go to the vet again. But tomorrow for better reasons, just space, so it's okay. That'll be fine. But then I have to take my other cat at some point when I can, because she has these, like, her pupils have like these bumps. She has like from trauma, and that also needs steroids. She needs eye drops from the doctor. Oh, bye, Weird. Bye. Thank you for coming. I'm so glad I did it today. I'm glad that I saw all of you guys. So yeah, a lot of fucking cat bullshit, a lot of bullshit. So, but I'm gonna hop off here, guys. Yes, definitely. I want to do that. I'm excited to be able to do that for you. I'll be ready. You get ready. So I thank you guys. I thank all of you guys so much for coming. I thank you, Hydra of War. I thank you, Sinead Langford, whatever. Promethean, Mr. Weird, Miguel. I thank all of you guys. I'm very, very excited how it went tonight, and it was so good to see you. I'm glad I did this, and I see you guys tomorrow. Remember to always mourn those in spiritual turmoil. They need us the most. So have a good night, guys. Tschüss, zdravo, and bye. Thank you.